Since it's summertime, and you're going to be getting a lot more free time, or I presume you will, can we expect any big projects over the summer?
I'm not one for doing all my work and then presenting it all as one piece. I'm one for giving everyone one thing every day. That's why I either do a chapter release every day or a new story release for my stories, because it's like, instead of writing 3,000 words over 3 days, I'll do 1,500, release it, so they can have something to read every day, and they don't have to wait.
That's always very nice. I mean, I've known waiting and waiting for that next chapter, and then you forget about it, and then a month later it comes out, and you're like, oh man, I have to reread everything.
Oh yeah. I myself hate that, because I have a couple fics that I'm following that are really, really good, and it's like, okay, 10,000 word chapter takes you 2 weeks to write. Why? I also think it progresses the story much faster and keeps the story fresh in my mind as I'm working on it if I do short chapters and release them. Short release.
Do you think that now that you've developed your skills a lot more since you started writing fics, are you going to go back towards your old fics and rewrite them or edit them anyway?
Ooh. Actually, I don't plan to, because if I do it and I'm finished with it, I say I'm done. However, with my first fiction, Change of Heart, well, A Change of Heart, there's an A there. I'm going to do a sequel, and all 196 people who had that favorited pretty much are like, yay!
Sequels.
Oh yeah.
Any hints to what's going to happen? Stuff.
Pony Changeling Hybrid. I can't say anything because it'll ruin the ending of the first book.
Ah.
Well, I mean, because...
Yeah, it's a sequel, and... Yeah.
It pretty much comes off a decade, I think I said. A decade after the first book. Although, making chapters full of action and then killing off the character who is fighting at the end is always fun.
Evil. Have you ever considered working on any collaborations with other authors? I know that some people are working in small groups to have sort of similar stories that run into each other. One that springs to mind being Griffin the Griffin and Echo the Diamond Dog and the Dragon one. Are you considering doing any sort of nods and winks to other stories, or...?
You know, I had no idea, honestly, until this very moment that you just told me that people collaborate, really. I just found that out now.
Oh, well, now that you found it out,
every day.
Do you think you're going to possibly contact some other authors and see if you can get your characters into their world or whatever?
Probably not. I always liked working alone with these kinds of things.
Yeah.
I say that, and I have a whole group of readers and stuff for a different project of mine, and I don't know if you want me to say it here or not, so I'll just not say it.
You can say whatever you like. This is your interview, man.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm working on a project with Everfree Radio and a whole bunch of other people. It's called Reading Rainbow. We're going to be reading fanfics for a show there. And we have a whole team of people, and the voice actors are also really nice, by the way. We're working on that, and that's a group of people. So I'm kind of hypocritical in that sense, but for fanfics, I prefer to work alone. It's, well, maybe editing help, yes, but for the most part, work alone is what I do.
Do you have a pre-reader or an editor?
Nope. It just comes, people are like, hey, you want me to edit the story? I'm like, okay, sure, go ahead.
Go, have fun. Go!
Have fun with that. You do it, you send it to me, I'll change it, and it's all good.
You also mentioned your project with towards Everfree Radio with your reading... Sorry, I didn't quite catch the name.
Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow. You're going to be reading fics. Do you have an idea of which fic you're going to read first? And could you tell us?
Well, we're not reading a whole big fic for our first episode. We might do those for specials. However, we're going to try and stick to shorter fictions. I think that's the plan anyway. I don't know. We're going to try and stick to shorter fictions so that more authors can get exposure. And I have a simple fic that I've already done a reading over, actually, but it's not that good. It's called A Funeral Fit for a DJ. That's what I'm doing anyway. I won't tell about the other ones though, because they're not out there yet. Yeah, because we have 4 different stories that we'll have out. Yeah, they're all kinds of genres.
How are you selecting stories for this? Are you just going around and finding some random author on the street and going, I'm reading your stuff now? Or how are you choosing people?
Well, we plan to do viewer submissions, meaning people will email us telling us, hey, you guys should read this fic. And we'll pick one randomly and be like, hey, okay, we're going to contact this author, etc., etc. However, for the first episode, we just kind of picked them. We're going to have a joint email, and people who are the fans of the show will email us links to fictions that they want us to read. Of course, there are rules, so no, we're not going to be reading Clop because this is EFR. It's PG or maybe PG-13 a little bit, because I don't know about Dusty's show being PG sometimes.
Appropriate for most of the family.
Yes. And the show's watchers, because people from the show, as Final Draft has told me, people from the show actually watch EFR sometimes.
Yeah, I've noticed Cincy coming in. Have you been trying to get in contact with any of the people from the show? I don't mean like the voice actors, but any of the artists or anything to help out with your voice acting?
What, from the show or from EFR?
From the show, like the storyboard artists or any of that. I know
no.
Long shot, but
Final Draft hooked us up with Robob, and Robob was one of the people that I think he was actually the person that made Epic Cupcake Time, Epic Pie Time, and Epic Wub Time, and he hooked us up with the voice actors that he knew that did that. So we have some good voice actors, quite a few actually, almost too many.
I just been informed by Vigilant Watch by the rules that you've decided. Correct me if these are wrong, but it's PG-13, no exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be completed fics.
Yep.
Authors can submit, but cannot be selected without fan support.
Yep, that's a big one. So we can't self-promote ourselves.
Oh, but I want to.
I was going to read my fiction, but I'm like, you know what? No, because these guys are going to be pissed that I'm picking one of my own fictions, so I'm going to pick a different one.
That's why you're here, so I can read your stuff. And then chapter 4, rule 4 is fics cannot be too short or too long.
Yeah, so no, like 1,000. Well, that rule will probably be revised because I think the plan's to stick with shorter fics right now. I'm not sure. I'll have to talk to Repairman Man. He's a co-leader on this, so.
How many are there of your little group?
Well, that's class of I'm playing. We have 4 narration readers, maybe 5. We have 2 audio and 2 video guys. Mm-hmm. We have Chuckles, who makes music, and he's doing one of our audio. We have PokeLink, Repairman Man. If you're in the IRC, you'll probably know some of these people. Final Draft's in here too, but he's just there to keep an eye on us. We have Vigilant Watch and Rylius, Tihan. I think that's all the people from the chat. Wow. And then we have a number of voice actors.
Lots of people then.
Oh yeah, the room has 12, 18 people in it.
Wow. Are you all going to be working on the same projects, or most likely you're going to be split up into smaller groups and each recording your own small fic? Is that right?
Well, what we've done today is we've actually, since we have 2 audio and video guys, we're splitting it up into a team. Me, Repairman Man, Chuckles, and Chuckles' friend, who's a video guy. We're all part of one team that picks well, Repairman Man is doing the comedy. I'm doing the sad fics, obviously. Mm-hmm. So we are part of a team, and then the other audio and video and the other 2 narrators are part of another team, and the voice actors, we just kind of share them between us.
I've tried doing voice acting before. It doesn't really work for me.
Crikey!
Crikey, mate. And anyway, the current image that I'm live streaming is of your OC, if I'm not mistaken.
Should be. I can't see. I don't have the live stream pulled up.
Well, what gave you your ideas for your OC?
I've always had the idea in my head. I've always thought of myself as a Pegasus. I am more of a free will, so I like the Pegasus being able to really fly and go up places that other ponies can't. I've always liked dark colors, and I've always liked blue. So that's kind of one of the things. The silver hair, I'm not old, but the silver hair, I like the silver hair. I like the color of silver. And the beard, I do have a beard, so so that actually is realistic to my character. Also, the cutie mark is a quill with a question mark. If you've ever seen me in one of Dusty Cat's live shows, I ask so many questions. My best yet being asking him if he likes bananas.
What was his response?
He leaned into the camera and glared at it. Like, for like 2 seconds. He like leaned in real slow and then leaned back and was like, yes, I do. I nearly died laughing that time.
I would have too. Oh, I would have probably died for fear that he'd come and find me and kill me. But we won't speak of that.
I always make a constant joke. If I went to if I went to see Dusty Cat at like Everfree Northwest, he'd probably get me out there by security or something.
Just dangle you from a rope from a very high place.
And a thing about his pose is, I find it symbolic that I'm using my own feathers to write with. It shows that I pour myself into the stories. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's all I can think of for the symbolism there.
Well, yeah, I was just asked by Brother Punk, do you like Dusty Cats?
Do I like Dusty Cat's show?
He just said ask him if he likes Dusty Cats, so I presume him as a person.
Yeah, I like Dusty Cat. Dusty Cat's cool. He's got the whole manly brony thing going on, you know. I don't always glare at the screen, but when I do, it's for chaotic harmony. But yeah, I like him. He's cool.
Harmonic Chaos asked, what's the best table you've ever flipped?
That would be Final Drafts. I flipped his table once.
Did he respond?
Oh yeah, he put me on probation from flipping tables. Now he sends me to the moon if I don't flip him without his permission. I do it anyway.
I'd prefer to go for the Ivan tables. They're a little bit more sturdy.
It's good for the health. I still don't get the Ivan joke. I'm gonna have to go back to the EQI and find that joke. I'm gonna have to do that, aren't I?
It's always been there, but
I never got it. I never got it at all. I'm just like, okay, it's an Ivan guy.
Yeah. What's your worst pun? Another one from Brother Punk.
I think they're all brilliant. So, I think the worst pun that I've ever made, was during one of Sketchy's shows. I said, "Hey, Sketchy, did you know that poster behind you is waving to us?" Or something like that. Because he has a poster of waves in the background. So it's like... Then I ask him, what are you doing? And why is he picking on us? In rapid... Okay, enough with the puns, because they're already getting bad.
Cringe and pain and agony.
Way to call me out on the pun. Okay.
Oh, where's the table when I need one?
Here, I got you. No, I don't got you. Never mind. All the tables here have stuff on them.